Snowy trees really make a winter diorama, and they're so easy to model with just your existing trees. I chose to do a mix of pine trees and a deciduous tree just for a bit of variety. I used a selection of sizes of these particular pine trees. They're beautifully made and very easy. I also used this lime tree to add a deciduous tree, with these nature trees to add some branches. You can easily skip this stage, but I thought the branches were just perhaps a little too flat in panels, so I waved them over a hot air gun just to droop them a little. It's very easy to overdo this. I then used the nature trees in small sprigs to fill out the bare winter branches. Gluing these needs an instant glue, so super glue is ideal, but it still takes quite a while to set, so I like to use activator as well. So what I do is check where I want the branch to go, dip it in a little bit of super glue, spray activator where I need it, and then just touch the branch in place. The activator sets the super glue straight away and your branch will stay fixed. Much easier than any other method I've tried, but it does take a long time. You have to build up each branch step by step. I think the results make it worthwhile, and when it's done you can spray it with some kind of spray brown paint to make sure it all matches. The photo I'm using as a backdrop though is mostly pine trees, so I need to make sure there's plenty of those on this diorama. I put them in a few different spots, saw what sizes I needed, checked everything fitted together, and then I scrunched them up because I wanted them to look less uniform. It doesn't really stick that well, these are very robust, springy branches, but I just bent them a little bit out of shape so there was variety. Now it's time to add the snow, and I'm using snowflakes and powdery snow for this. First up though, spray glue. This is actually watered down 50-50 for a finer spray, and I coat the trees well in it from all angles, slightly from above. For the pine trees, I sprinkle on the snowflakes. It's a fine flock, a white flock, like static grass, so the needle shape of it works really well for things like pine trees. For the deciduous tree, I want more of a sort of a frosty bare look with a little bit of snow caught on, and I use the powdery snow for that. It just gives a slightly different effect. What you do need to do though is turn it upside down and shake it to make sure you remove all the excess, otherwise it will just keep coming off. A second layer can really help build up the snow. I left the trees on the side until it was time to put them in place. Basically everything else is done and it's the last thing more or less that I do. The other trees were hot glued in place and just held until it's set. I do recommend two things. One, using tweezers if you can, because I have a nice blister from putting my finger in some very hot glue. And two, scrape away any of the snow before you actually put your trees in place. Otherwise, you're just gluing onto a fine powder and they'll fall off very easily. If the bottoms of the trees are showing, you'll want to come back with a little spot of glue and a little bit of snow and just cover them up.